Gyeongseong Creature Season 2 brings back Han So-hee and Park Seo-joon in a story about legacy and karma, this time in 2024 instead of the late 20th century. One of many Netflix original K-dramas, Gyeongseong Creature premiered on December 22, 2023, with 7 episodes. The final 3 episodes of the first season were released 2 weeks later on January 5, 2024. Shortly after the conclusion of Season 1, Gyeongseong Creature was officially renewed for Season 2. Given how Season 1 ended, the announcement of a second chapter was hardly a surprise. Gyeongseong Creature 2 premieres Friday, September 27 on Netflix. The horror K-drama tells the story of Jang Tae-sang, whose life takes a turn after an investigation of a missing person leads him to Chae-ok, a detective who is also looking for someone who went missing. Together, Tae-sang and Chae-ok had to face the demons of their past, sometimes quite literally. Gyeongseong Creature Season 1's ending was mostly self-contained and saw the destruction of the hospital where the experiments were happening. However, the finale's closing minutes made a second season all but inevitable. Not only was Chae-ok brought back to life, but the show included a massive time jump. Gyeongseong Creature combined real history and fictional elements. Season 1 was set in the final days of Japan's occupation of Korea. While Gyeongseong Creature Season 2 will take place in 2024, the first season was a historic piece set in the final days of World War II. The show explored the social and economic impacts of Japan's occupation of Korea and spotlighted the horrors of Unit 731, although it added a fictional element to it. In addition to referencing all the horrifying war crimes that happened in real life, Gyeongseong Creature Episode 1 established that Japanese soldiers had found a mysterious organism that could turn people into rageful monsters. This organism, which became known as Nijin, was used as the basis for Lieutenant Kato and Ichiro's secret program at the oh-seong hospital in Gyeongseong. Kato and Ichiro were trying to create the perfect organism that could be used as a weapon in the war, and while their original lab was destroyed toward the end of the war, they resumed their experiments in Gyeongseong. Most of Gyeongseong Creature Season 1 took place inside the oh-seong hospital as Chae-ok and her father looked for answers about what happened to her mother. Lady Maeda was behind the oh-seong hospital's experiments. Lady Maeda was the mastermind in Gyeongseong Creature. In the latter half of Gyeongseong Creature Season 1, we learn that Claudia Kim's Lady Maeda, Commissioner Ishikawa's wife, was the secret benefactor behind the hospital. Not only was Lady Maeda financing Kato and Ichiro's experiments, but she knew exactly what they were trying to achieve. Lady Maeda also used the hospital as a way to eliminate her enemies, namely Ishikawa's lover, Myongja. Gyeongseong Creature also teased that Lady Maeda was behind the kidnapping and imprisoning of Chae-ok's mother, although it's unclear what happened between them. It is also unclear why Lady Maeda was interested in the Nijin research. She may have been trying to create new weapons for her country in the war, but there also seems to be a power-seeking element to it. Publicly, Lady Maeda behaved like a noblewoman who would rarely leave the house or question her husband's actions. However, in secrecy, she was arguably the most powerful and dangerous person in Gyeongseong. A Japanese woman, Lady Maeda had been living in Gyeongseong ever since Ishikawa was appointed as the city's new chief of police. Jang Tae-sang's life has always been about survival. Tae-sang grew up very selfish and pragmatic. One small but important detail about Gyeongseong Creature is that Park Seo-joon's character is all about survival. Jang Tae-sang, owner of the most popular pawn shop in the city, came from nothing and lost his mother most tragically. Both Tae-sang and his mother were arrested by Japanese soldiers, and while the boy was freed, his mother was killed. The last thing Tae-sang's mom told him was for him to survive, which is why he grew up to be a relatively selfish person who puts his survival in front of everything else. This is also why Tae-sang likes making money so much, and why he is not very good at relationships. Tae-sang's approach to life also explains why he never properly joined the fight for Korea's freedom, even though his best friend was deeply involved with the freedom fighters. That said, Gyeongseong Creature Season 1, Part 2 showed that Tae-sang was not as selfish as it seemed. Falling in love with Chae-ok seems to have played a role in it, as Tae-sang finally learned how to open himself to someone else.